Now I want to call on the Ambassador Andisha to deliver his speech.
Thank you very much. Honorable President, AP, Chief Whip, my colleagues from the diplomatic corps in Canada, my fellow Afghan countries representing a vibrant Afghan Australian community, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not sure if you remember, of course, those attended the last year, our Independence Day, but I certainly remember that it was my first National Day speech, and I find out that I delivered the shortest speech in a National Day, because it was my first time as an ambassador, so I checked all the diplomatic guys to make sure that I'm following the rule. But after 1 year of being in Canada, I'm a very distinguished and experienced ambassador. I learned that very short, and I'm allowed to speak for a little longer. So I'll be a little longer, and I'm sure I will not take a lot of your time because I'm a fast speaker. Extensive. I welcome you all and thank you for sparing your precious time to honor us and attend the commemoration of the 93rd anniversary of Afghanistan Independence and the 10th anniversary of establishment of bilateral diplomatic relations between Australia and Afghanistan. Afghanistan Independence Day marks a significant point in Afghan history, a moment that reflects the strength, sacrifices, and determination of our people. Throughout Afghanistan's history, our people have made sacrifices for freedom and independence, not only for their country, but for humanity as a whole. We stood at the front line of fight against communism, whose defeat in Afghanistan marked its demise. And today, once again, we Afghans are at the forefront of war against terrorism and violent extremism. As we remember 9/11 today, the Embassy of the United States, it was exactly 11 years ago when Al-Qaeda and its terrorist network attacked the United States and killed almost 3,000 innocent people in 1 day. 1 year before 9/11, the same network and its supporters in the region took my country and its people hostage and deprived them of their basic human needs and rights. Together, with a great support from a wide international community, we revoked the Taliban regime and its Al-Qaeda backers and their dark forces of terror and destruction from Afghanistan, and prevented any major 9/11 scale attack around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, today we also proudly celebrate the 10th anniversary of Afghanistan-Australia resident diplomatic relations, a mature and solid relationship based on common interest and mutual respect. A relationship taller and stronger than its age. Throughout our diplomatic relations, though our diplomatic relation is not it's a decade old, Afghans are no strangers in Australia. Our connection dates back to more than 150 years. When the first Afghan, along with their kin, came to Australia to help develop communication networks on Australian islands. The Afghan Cavalier were instrumental and played a crucial role in the success of some of Australia's most ambitious infrastructure projects at the time, such as the Overland Telegraph and Railroad between Port Augusta and Alice Springs. Came to be known as Afghan Express and later on as the Ghan. Today, the Ghan's emblem is an Afghan on account in recognition of the effort in opening up the hospitable interior to the rest of Australia. Ladies and gentlemen, in the 1960s and 70s, many Australian tourists, particularly the hippie trail voyagers, visited Afghanistan and often passed through Afghan cities of Herat, Since the late 70s, Australia became home to thousands of Afghan refugees who were forced to flee their homeland following the Soviet occupation of Afghanistan in 1979. Australia offered moral and material support to the rightful resistance of the Afghan people against the Soviet occupation of our country. And once again, in the late 2001, Australia joined the international coalition to help free Afghanistan from the menace of terrorism and Al-Qaeda. We also thank the people and the government of Australia for their firm commitment and cooperation throughout the decade, especially in Chicago and Tokyo conferences this year. Australia's support and commitment has and will continue to play a profound role in consolidating security and the rule of law and economic development in Afghanistan. I would like also to acknowledge the dedication and sacrifices of countless brave men and women who left the comfort of family and friends in Australia and decided to extend their helping hand to their fellow human being over thousands of kilometers away in Afghanistan. As a result of the humanitarian zeal, has raised the standard of living of all Afghans by improving access to health, primary education, access to clean water and electricity, the development of infrastructure, training of our national security forces, and finally building the capacity of our administrative personnel. Sadly, the above come with prices attached, not just in monetary sense, but also in terms of human loss. As our close ally, Australia has lost 36 daggers in Afghanistan so far, including the lost fatality, which claimed the life of 3 brave soldiers. Actually 5 brave soldiers. We highly appreciate the devotion and the services of these heroes, sacrifices of Australian men and women, shoulder to shoulder with the Afghan National Security Forces in Uruzgan and other parts of Afghanistan reflect on Australians' value of mateship and fair growth through their exemplifying bravery in action, devotion to services, and love for fellow human beings. These shared sacrifices also deepens and strengthens the bond of friendship and solidarity between Australia and Afghanistan. Last year, Prime Minister Julia Gillard visited Afghanistan and reiterated Australia's strong commitment and ongoing support to stability and development in Afghanistan. Also, former Prime Minister and later Foreign Minister Cameron Rudd, a good friend of Afghanistan, visited Afghanistan many times. Defense Minister Stephen Smith and many other high-ranking officials have visited Afghanistan several times, where they personally witnessed the positive contribution that the Australian and Afghan security forces and the development teams are making in the lives of people, particularly in rural provinces. Building on a decade of a strong bilateral relationship, President Hamid Karzai and Prime Minister Julia Gillard met in Chicago in May this year and signed a comprehensive partnership document in which we have recognized our shared interest in a secure, stable, democratic Afghanistan, able to defend itself against international terrorism, a partner in peace with the surrounding region, and a valued contributor to the global community of nations. This comprehensive partnership paved the way for further cooperation between our countries in political, security, development, trade, investment, migration, and humanitarian affairs, cultural and people-to-people links and conflicts. Honorable guests, once again, I would like to take this opportunity to thank you all for listening so patiently to me. And thank to my Afghan friends who helped us organize this event, especially for those who brought this beautiful Afghan conference. Thank you all.